Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. This is Coronado Oil Play Arizona of the global market. George Stakeholder of all 10-year, 15-year, 30-year corporate, private, and public. And like I was just saying, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I've been playing a lot of video, a lot of film, and a lot of footage of things that make people just really want to increase their flatulence and have to go relieve themselves. But I tell you, ladies, one of the greatest mediators of all time, I realized today, was Reginald Denny, ladies and gentlemen, from the 1992 Alabama versus, I think that was the Hurricanes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I never forget it, ladies and gentlemen. I never forget it. It was Alabama versus the Florida Miami. Is it the Miami Hurricanes, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Miami Hurricanes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Alabama won. And I never forget it, ladies and gentlemen. It was the great mediator of all fights, ladies and gentlemen. Well, people they made a Stop the Violence campaign where all the gangster rappers joined hands and they had a truce and they had all their colors together, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it was a fiasco. Well, they said the madness has to end today. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I hate that it happened to Reginald Denny, but I'm glad there is a medium out there to make people say, this has to come to an end. This has to stop today. And ladies and gentlemen, and the buck kept going, you know what I'm saying? But it did hit the yield sign, because with Rodney King, they didn't even stop at the yield sign. And for Greg Gunn, they didn't even stop at the red light. But for Reginald Denny, at least, at least they did that at the yield sign, man. When they saw Reginald Denny, they did. They were like, hold on now. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that they beat that man up real bad, ladies and gentlemen, they beat Reginald Denny up real bad, ladies. I think that man had more stitches, ladies and gentlemen. Man, that man head looked like a that thing looked like a Darryl Strawberry out of the park baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't describe how that looked like when they sewed their head back together. And I tell you, for that man to look like he looked today, it's a miracle, ladies. I don't even think that's him. I think it's a stunt double. Cause when I seen him in that emergency room, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, they told him to lay on the floor. You know what I'm saying? We don't want you to put you in the bed. They had him at Jackson Hospital. They told him to lay on the floor because that's how much blood was coming out of his head. And they just told him to lay on the floor. When he got up the next morning, they had to kind of pull him up because his blood was sticking to the floor. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why they pulled him. I don't know why they did him like that at Jackson Hospital when he got attacked that night in that truck like that. But I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you know, when I played it, I walked down 231 today, and ladies and gentlemen, it was a lot of people that was totally out of it because they didn't realize that it happened until that replay. You know, it's been like 3 decades. That thing been 3 decades ago, ladies and gentlemen. But now they can visualize it riding down the street in that rig. I seen like 100 rigs pass by. If you would have saw the face on them people driving them rig drivers, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? It made them realize, you know what I'm saying? Because usually they go and get in their Dodge Ram and they like, hey, they with that Rodney King type of stuff. They with it. But today, man, I seen a lot of them, they got in their Econo car, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't get in their truck. They got out of that rig when they got to the truck stop, and their wife came and picked them up in the Econo car. Why? Because, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it was a tragedy. And a tragedy.